About a year and a half ago, I got to a really dark place, and I decided to quit playing music, to quit writing music, and to try and do something else. And I went and I worked on a farm for a while, and I worked on a food truck for a while, and I spent a lot of time with my kids, and I realized that even I can get real dark on tour, and with the whole being away from home aspect of what I do, and it's a hard thing to explain to people, because you go like, yeah, I have to go on tour, and they're like, that must be so awesome, and you're like, yes, sure, you know, and like you just kind of sound like a dick if you complain about, oh, I'm a professional musician, you know, but I spend a lot of time away from my family, and that makes me sad, and sometimes I crack, and it all, you know, sometimes I go to pieces, as it were, hence the name of the song. But the thing that, I don't know, it's cathartic to me to be able to sing that and then be like, okay, that's just, it is, I'm acknowledging the fact that, you know, I have a darkness and this stresses me out, and so just kind of accepting that as part of my life. I was in a dark headspace. We had been touring or making records nonstop for 10 years, and I needed a break. And I don't know if neither I nor we were mature enough to understand that you can take a break from this. It was just like go, 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 go. And so I didn't know how to deal with it other than to stop it. And which is honestly the same thing that just happened to me last year, just in a different manifestation. And then I went through a period of time where like I was just making music because that was what I did to make money, and that wasn't terribly satisfying. So now I'm trying to find the balance of that, you know what I mean? Like I will always make music, I know that for a fact. Whether I want to be a professional touring musician, actively, you know, promoting things, I don't know. I can kind of take it or leave it. But I know that I will always at least write and make records. And, you know, you just got to find the balance between those two things. But I felt like my world was ending when my daughter was born, the first time I went on tour after my daughter was born. And that just sucks. I don't like, that's my least favorite part of the whole thing. My wife calls it, she's a tour widow, is what she calls herself. And she has no tolerance for people who are like, their first time that their boyfriend's band goes on tour, she's like, oh, come on. But I mean, that's the closest thing, like either being a truck driver or being, I mean, obviously being in the military, it's a longer, much more stressful, much more dangerous way to make a living. But I think the feelings are still the same as far as the loneliness and I would assume, the like, just the longing and the missing of your family and your friends and your kids, or God forbid you're shipped out and your kid is born while you're gone. I mean, I've never had to do that. I can at least book a tour around the time that my wife was about to have a baby. So yeah, I can't even imagine that. So whenever I've been depressed on tour, like I try to like focus on the positive. Don't focus on the distance. Don't focus on the controlling aspect. Is not something I've ever had to really deal with. But on the flip side of what I have had to deal with is like really opinionated people, either telling you you're great or telling you you suck. And I assume that's at least somewhat similar. But I think it's like I would assume you have to focus on why you're there, what the bigger picture is, and not focus on the little things in the day-to-day. That would be my guess. As someone I can't really compare being in the military to being on tour, other than that you're taken out of your environment and you're put into this other environment that you have to learn how to deal with it. You know, this tour has been much better for me. I used to get like super panic attack, anxiety kind of stuff leaving for tour because I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to leave. I wanted to be home. And this time I've been like very calm because I'm like, this is what I do, and this is what I do. This is where I am. Being freaked out about it doesn't do anybody any good, especially me. And so this time I've been, even when I've gotten down, I've been kind of like, all right, let's listen to some funny podcasts, or let's, try and do something silly, And I'm traveling with people that I like, so that's really positive.
Find a way to keep the past, cherry pit, ditch the rest, tell myself, get on.